She may be just 20 years old, but one Michigan college student's passion for baking and photography has landed her on the Martha Stewart Show.
Her blog has even been mentioned in BBC's Olive magazine, and joining us this morning is Caitlin Flannery, a huge star on the rise. So glad you're with us this morning. We want to hear all about Martha Stewart and all your accolades, but let's get started with what's on the menu today.
Yeah, we're going to make strawberry rhubarb pie. This is actually my grandma Flannery's recipe.
Nice.
It's near and dear to my heart. If you'd like to get started on the crust, it's really easy. Right now we have 1.5 cups of flour in here. To that you can add 3/4 teaspoon of salt.
Okay, this whole thing?
Yep.
All right.
And then just mix it in.
Okay.
And then add in the butter and the shortening. There's 9 tablespoons of butter and then 3 tablespoons of shortening in there. And you'll just cut it in with a fork. You want it to be kind of like coarse crumbs.
Just kind of like crumbs,
yep.
Okay.
And you want the butter to be like as cold as possible. While you're working on that, I'm going to help Mike go with the filling, okay?
Sounds good.
All right.
All right. This is really easy too.
Okay.
That's what I love about this recipe. Here we have 4 cups of chopped rhubarb.
Okay.
And then you're going to add in 4 cups of strawberries. That's half a teaspoon of salt.
Okay.
Then 3/8 of a cup of sugar.
All right.
And then the last thing is a 1/4 cup of flour plus 1 tablespoon of flour.
Okay.
That's to thicken it up so the pie doesn't run all over.
Should I mix it all up?
Yep. Perfect.
All right, as we do this, so tell us about how you got noticed by Martha Stewart, and tell us about your blog, too.
My blog is called Whisk-Kid. The notice by Martha Stewart happened like really soon after I started it. It was quite a surprise. I was in class and I got a comment on my blog from one of the people who work on the show, and they said they wanted to call me. So I left calc a little bit early that day.
How did you get inspired to even start the blog?
Just watching, seeing like blogs on the internet. The main thing that really got me started baking though was actually watching Billy of Billy's Bakery make cupcakes on the Martha Stewart Show. And since I made that recipe, I've just been going and going and going. I love it.
And the blog is all about recipes and photography. You take pictures of your finished products and all that. So then you went on Martha Stewart, and what'd you make, and how was the experience?
I made a rainbow cake on the show. Like every layer of the cake was a different color. It was awesome. I still can't believe it happened. Like, I'm really, really fortunate to have had that opportunity.
And that rainbow cake is really the most popular recipe on your blog?
By far.
What a great experience. That's really terrific.
Thank you.
So, Caitlin, what happens next with the dough?
After you've got all your butter mixed in and everything, you're going to add 6 tablespoons of water. You might not need it all. You might just, you just need enough for the dough to come together. And then you'll mix it just enough for it to stick. Press it into 2 discs. One will be like 1/3 of it, and the other will be 2/3 of it. Wrap it into plastic wrap, and then put it in the fridge for at least 30 minutes. Overnight is better, but when you roll it, just make sure you set it on the counter for like 10 minutes so it can soften up before you roll it.
And we've got a
prepared
one version here.
This one is made with the 2/3, the ball of dough that's 2/3 of what you made. The other third will be used for the lattice. We're just going to dump in the filling.
Okay, all of it?
Yep, and then kind of try to mound it in the center. And if there's any flour in the bottom that's not mixed in, just pour it over the top. It'll be just fine.
Oops.
Can I pick it up and put it in?
Okay, you sure can. Why not?
You guys clean the counter. I saw it.
All right, so after this, you would just put the lattice on.
After this, you put on the lattice. The lattice is really easy to make. You just roll out the remaining dough to like a 10 by 10 inch square, and then just cut it into strips, weave it, and then just slip it over the top. Then you'll fold over the edges, crimp it. You just kind of press it between your finger like that.
Okay.
And it'll just make like a decorative edge. When you bake it, you'll bake it at 450 for 30 minutes. You can cover it, if your oven usually like browns things really quickly, cover it with aluminum foil for the first 30 minutes. And then after that time has passed, lower the heat to 350 and then bake it for an additional like 40 minutes to an hour until it's nice and brown.
And this will be the final product right over there.
Final product
looks
right over
terrific.
Here.
Congratulations on all your success. And for a link to Caitlin's blog and this recipe, it'll be on our website, WXYZ.com. Thanks so much for coming in today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.